What's going on, guys? It's Sam from Malevolent, and today we have a very special video featuring two players. We got Eli and Marlon, and what did you guys do today?
We played Invoked Ogdoadic.
And that is the new snake deck from the new set, in case you guys were wondering. And yeah, they just built this deck together, they worked on it together, and so we're doing the deck profile together. And they also top together, so
it was two undefeated records with the new snake deck.
Cool. So, I don't know who wants to take the lead on this one, but y'all can get into it whenever.
Yeah, so, I'll take it. So yeah, so we've got 3 Alistair. It's obvious for an Invoke strategy. Everyone knows what this does. And then you've got the new cards. You've got the snakes, the level 4 snakes, which are your combo enablers. So this one is the one that you always want to open. You pitch it to send a Dark Reptile from your deck to the graveyard, and then when you control monsters, he summons himself for free. And then this one does the same thing for lights, and when he's special summoned, he adds an archetypal spell or trap.
Cool.
Then for the level 8s, we've got Curse, the light level 8. It contribute a monster you control to special summon itself and a level 4 reptile from the deck, or from the graveyard. And then if your opponent has cards in their graveyard, they can special summon one from their graveyard as well.
And so it's negated.
Yes, and it's effects negated. So you always want to use this going first. This card is terrible going second. And then Alarit. So it has the same summoning effect for itself. And then when you summon it, you can return 2 banished monsters, including a reptile, to your graveyard. And then your opponent, if they have cards in their graveyard, can add 1 monster from their graveyard to their hand. And then they're a light and a dark, so they get the offset ones.
Both good going first.
And then to round out the snakes, we've got Zoha, the level 4. So the only relevant text on this guy is you can discard a card to add him from your graveyard to the hand. So he's really good in hands where you have the light mill guy. So you send him, and then you pitch a card, and you have a normal summon in the other guy, and you get into Fair Limps that way.
I did use the second effect once today, though, because I needed the card in hand to use Snake Rain.
Yeah, so the second effect says that you can, when he's either special summoned, normal summoned, or leaves the field, your opponent draws 1 card, you search an Ogdoadic card, and then each you and your opponent discard a card.
Well,
so
they draw a card, yeah.
They draw a card and send 1, and then you search an Ogdoadic and send 1. And so that second effect is awful 90% of the time because it just lets them see more of their deck. It lets them sculpt their hand. Yeah. And then lastly, we have Ogdoadic Overlord. So this card says that you can send all other cards that were not special summoned from the graveyard to the field once per turn on a quick effect. So he protects himself because he's always going to be summoned from the graveyard. He can be special summoned by tributing 3 monsters. And then he's just a quick effects on the board. He's insane. Very, very strong card. Then for hand traps, this is where our decks differed. I was playing 3 Droll and Lockbird and 3 Ash Blossom.
Yeah, no. So, what other card were you playing over the game?
I was playing another Invocation as the other
thing. So he was playing another Invocation, and we'll get to that, but I was playing 3 Gamma and the Driver.
Yeah. Got it. So the hand traps are just a little different.
Yeah. I was really afraid of Dragon decks, because if you go second against Dragons, like, you basically insta-lose in this matchup, so I was just thinking, like, I know there's at least 2 Dragon decks at locals, I need to be playing Droll on the main.
And my thinking was, if you got Droll or Ash on Meltdown or Snake Rain and all that, you could just use this, make Omega, and then you can still full combo.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we move on to spells. Oh no, we've got the vanilla lineup for Dragoon first. So
Dragoon deck.
Run these.
Dragoon alert.
Deck. A little bit of a crush, but here we are. Then for spells, we've got Triple Meltdown.
Thank you.
Obvious, it's an Invoke deck. And similarly, 2 Invocation. This is the other spots where me and his deck differed. He opted for a Forbidden Droplets as his 40th card, just as a generically good 40th card, and I decided on playing the extra Invocation for 2.
So my reasoning was, like the Invoked Engine, I just wanted 1 Invocation because I'm just trying to focus on the snake things. Like, the Alistair is just a bait, really. So, like, you can still combo without the Invocation. It's like minus Macabre.
Right. Makes sense.
Where in my philosophy, I was like, if this goes to the grind game, and this format's kind of grindier, games go back and forth a couple turns sometimes, I really just wanted to be able to use this. And also, it's not a great reason, but in testing, I kept drawing both of my vanilla pieces for Dragoon. And so it was a superstition thing. I knew it was going to happen.
Oh, jeez.
I did hard fuse for Dragoon this tournament, so it was worth it. And then we move into Archetypal Spell. We've got Ogdoadic Water Lily. This card says Foolish Burial, a reptile monster, and then if you have 5 or more reptiles with different names, you get to Monster Reborn any reptile from your graveyard. So this is like the card that you want to search to make your combo work with the Dark Foolish Burial.
Got it.
And so this is just how you play the game. And then finally, a playable deck. Snake Rain.
There it is.
This card plus Zoha is full combo on the spot. Like, it's just insane. You get to send every guy to the graveyard. You instantly make Water Lily live. Like the plays are just unreal with this card.
It's a nice card. What a good card.
And then for generic spells, we're playing 3 Prosperity. You just need to see a lot of the combos rely on 2 cards, so generally you'll draw one of them and you need the other piece, so Prosperity saves you. 1 Terraforming, obvious for the Invoke stuff. Reborn, Foolish Burial, Call by the Grave, and Red Ice Fusion. Foolish Burial is just a Rhoda in this deck.
Well, before you were playing another card.
Yeah, so I did test out the Snake King Aaron, the one that is a very soft Dark Law. It says when your opponent adds a card from their deck to their hand, you can send one or from their hand at random. But it turns out a lot of decks just really want their cards in the graveyard. So as cool as the soft Dark Law sounds, I ended up deciding the Foolish Burial was just better overall.
Right.
Just as a way to Rhoda another guy.
Cool.
I guess that's where the Droplet was for my last.
Yes, the Droplet could also be there.
Yeah, I just put Droplet as my 40th card because I just didn't have a lot of time, and they're just a generic good card.
Right.
Let me move on to the extra deck, where we've got the Invoked Requirement Artemis. This lets you make a 1-card Makaba. Very, very good if you have nothing else in hand. We've got Verti Anaconda. It's just required for Dragoon. Everyone knows what it does. Cross Sheep. This card is what lets your final combo go off. And oftentimes you actually have to summon a fusion, but hold the effect so that you can summon another guy later and get an extra monster out of it. The new card to the deck, or like the new card that's really good in this deck, is Reptilian Echidna. So this card, first of all, it says you can target 1 monster your opponent controls, set its attack to 0. Second effect is it can search for reptiles equal to the number of monsters your opponent controls more than you. But for the rest of the turn, you're locked into reptiles.
Yeah, so I had a good application in my deck because our extra deck difference was this. I played these 4. So what you would do, you use his effect, or this effect to make their attack 0. And you summon 2 level 8s, and you go to Gluvion, effect summon Full Harbinger, and Full Harbinger goes under this, and its effect makes it 9,000 attack. So you just have a 0 monster.
And then you get the free game, yeah.
Yeah, you hit for 9,000.
Yeah, and so the difference there is for my OTK cards, I was playing Purga, Access Code, and Unicorn, as well as I was playing Appaloosa, because I was finding instances where you just don't make your full board, and sometimes passing on Appaloosa Makaba is just enough anyways.
Right.
And then back to the stuff that's exactly the same. Dragoon, required obviously. Mechaba, the reason you play the Invoked Engine.
I played 2 Mechaba.
Yeah, I went to 1 Mechaba in favor of a Purgatrio, just because going second is kind of difficult for this deck, so you want as many tools as possible. And then we have Hope Harbinger. Just sometimes you end with 2 level 8s, you need to make a negate. We've got Rika Queen Fairy Strenna. This is actually the most insane card in the combo, and it's something that really nobody knew what it was doing, even though it came out in ROTD. This card says that when it's tributed for effect or a summon, you can special summon a plant XYZ from your extra deck and use this as a material. So when you tribute this for the effect of 1 of your snakes in the graveyard, you get to make Hypertron, which is an Omni negate as long as it has a material of the type of card that it was that you're trying to negate.
Okay.
And then whenever you activate a card during your main phase, you can quick effect target a card of the same type in your graveyard and attach it as material.
Oh, very cool.
So you save your Invocation Shuffleback for the end of the turn, and then you can equip your Water Lily from the graveyard. So you have a spell and a monster negate available to you.
All right.
And then lastly, King of the Fairlimps. This card is what enables your combos. It's what makes Alistair so synergistic in the deck. Is you can special summon Nauya and normal summon Alistair, or special summon Nunu, normal summon Alistair, make King of the Fairlimps, search Nauya, and now you have full combo.
Right. Good card.
And then lastly, Zeus.
Just
the best card in the game.
I was playing Omega.
Oh yeah, Omega was Zeus.
Right.
But this card's just absurd. If you make this, you're probably winning the match.
Yeah. Personally, it never came up for me, but like, yeah.
Cool.
Alright, this is going to be a simple 2-card combo using Nunu, this card that I just learned its name. Alright, and Alistair the Invoker.
Okay.
A card that he also just learned the name of.
You can pitch Nunu and send a... where is it? Just gotta send this one now.
Sure.
Howard, whatever his name is. You can special summon this, and then you're locked into reptiles while this is on the field. But that's just for special summoning, so you can normal summon Alistair, get Invoke, then make King of the Fairlimps to lock yourself into other monsters. Use this, search.
Lock yourself into every other monster.
And this is gonna dump.
Throw away the key.
You're gonna dump Curse. Curse can contribute this. Special summon one. Now yeah. Use effect to get a Water Lily. Cross Sheep.
And then it's important to note that cards resummoned by Curse get banished when they leave the field, but you get them back at the end of your turn.
Shadow Lilies. Okay.
Shadow too.
You can use a Water Lily to dump one. Use send that card. You'll have 5 reptiles exactly, so you can reborn one. So we'll go ahead and make him defeat.
You just resummon Zoha here.
Yeah.
But you don't use effect.
Yeah, don't use the effect.
Then you invo, yeah.
Invo. Then banish This guy. Alright, let's go with this guy actually. We'll leave him there for later. Let's go Mechabut. And trigger Cross Sheep to bring back a level 4.
Yeah. And this is actually something important to note that a lot of people don't know about Cross Sheep, is it does not have to summon to the zone it points to, and it doesn't have to be the first summon, and it also doesn't have to be the type. So if you have to go Mechaba first and you summon this to that zone, it'll still trigger Cross Sheep because it points to a fusion, and if the zones are full, you can still summon off Cross Sheep.
Cool.
Yeah, so then anyway, rushing these two, special summoning, overlaying for Rika Queen.
New card, new card.
Yep. We'll use this card. Tribute her. And then there's this on summon that I've been.
Yes. So in the next chain, you get Rika and the return.
Yeah, so we'll go chain link 1 and chain link 2. Return these and special summon Hypertron. Effect. Take this and monster. Let's go Fairlands, I guess. Alright. And then let's go to this. It's Anaconda. Anaconda effect. Send. We'll use Invocation. And this will trigger the Hypertron. So it'll shuffle back and it'll attach a spell since he uses a spell effect.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you have a monster or spell negate and you have this in hand.
And presumably 3 other cards in hand.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, 3 negates off of that 2-card combo. This was pretty fun to play. We worked on it all week, we labbed on it, and then we saw Team Samurai X uploaded a video, and it's like, all right, well, we just figured all this on our own. It's like everyone already has it already, so.
Well,
yeah. And then I wanted to give a shout out to Aerospace Gaming, Team Malevolent Gaming. You know, go check out his Instagram if you like high-end cards, Starlights, and all that.
yeah.
Sweet. So we'll have that linked below. Be sure to check out all the socials, like, comment, and share, and check us out in the next one.